Hello friends, it's Alexis and welcome to another round of TBR Pop. Hello and happy December. If this is your first time watching one of my TBR Pop videos, it's a pretty self-explanatory game. I have a dart, I have balloons. On the back of the balloons is a reading prompt and I have to match a book up to the prompt and complete it so that the next month I can earn a reward. When I don't complete my TBR, like November, getting ahead of myself, I have to pull a punishment. Yeah, I have unfortunately failed my November TBR, but I am so close to finishing it. At the time of filming this, it is currently November 29th, and I have started the last two books on my TBR, but they're both kind of long, so I don't see myself finishing them before December 1st. So I'm just going to take the punishment now, expecting that I will fail. If I somehow do it and I finish both of those books in the next day and a half-ish, I will put something in here letting you know the reward I got. But let's get it out of the way. Let's see what our punishment is going to be. Okay, just one. Let's see, you can read it first. Read a book you don't want to. Okay. I think this could actually work out for this month because I have a lot of things I have to finish. So these aren't necessarily books that I maybe want to read, but I have to read them. I think I can bend this to work in my favor. This is definitely not the worst punishment we could have gotten. I am back. So originally when I pulled this prompt, I forgot about my rule that the book has to be on my physical TBR because the whole point of this game is to read down the books I already own. And I was going to pick a library book that would fit in with my next 12 Recs by 12 Friends vlog I have to film in December. But then I remembered my rules and I'm not going to break them. I don't think it's fair to pick a book that I already had on my December hopefuls list. Like, I think the true spirit of the punishment is to add a book on that I wasn't already planning on reading. So, while I am very excited for this book and I do want to read it, I don't want to read it this month. I have other plans. I have a lot of other books to get to. The punishment has spoken, so I am adding on Your Favorite Scary Movie by Ashley Cullins. This one is a nonfiction book about the movie Scream. I think it's only about Scream and not a bunch of other scary movies. Yes. Entertainment journalist Ashley Cullins examines the making and impact of the Scream films with behind-the-scenes insight from cast, creators, and crew, as well as sharp analysis on how the movie's special blend of gruesome violence and humorous self-awareness rewrote the horror playbook. If you guys didn't know, Scream is probably my favorite movie of all time. I have a top 5 that each one of them could really be in my #1 spot, just depending on my mood that day, but Scream is a part of that list. I recently got a Ghostface and Sidney Prescott tattoo in October, and I picked this book up because I was very excited to read it. I obviously have not gotten to it yet, and I wasn't planning on reading it before the end of the year, but here we are. It's getting added to the TBR. This does actually help because one of my goals this year that I am failing horribly was to read 10 nonfiction books, so I'm probably not going to complete that goal before the end of the year, but this at least will get me one book closer. All right, now that we are starting out with already an extra book added to the TBR and already a very busy month ahead of us, this is going to be stressful. I am just hoping that the board is nice to us and I don't have any extra additions added on. I have a list of 10 books I absolutely have to get to by the end of the year. There are more than 10, but I had to narrow it down and be realistic with myself, so this is sort of like the top 10. So I will be picking and choosing from this list depending on what prompts we get. So I really hope I get stuff I can work with. But without further ado, let's get into our game. Okay, here we go. Dart #1. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I don't even know where to aim. Ugh, what is calling to me? You know what? I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'm going to throw blindly and I'm going to let the board and the good energy pick for me because I'm too stressed out to pick our first prompt. Not even that I know what's behind the balloons. I'm talking like I know. Okay, closing my eyes, let's just throw it. And of course that didn't even hit a balloon, but I'm gonna take that as a sign that now I am going to aim for that yellow one. So let's see if we can get it. All right, hopefully this orange one is a good one. Our very first prompt is going to be a romance. I can work with this. Yes. All right, one balloon down, and this is working out very well in my favor so far. For my romance prompt, I'm going to be reading Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is a book that I wanted to read back in October, but then life got in the way. It was spooky season, and then November was too busy, but it is finally time. She is on my 10 before the end list, so it is getting read in December. If you guys have watched my videos before, and then you would know that I am obsessively in love with everything Lila Sage writes. Her Rebel Blue Ranch series, which is a cowboy romance series, is one of my favorite romances of all time, and nobody is more shocked than me that I love a cowboy romance so much. I am the furthest thing from a cowgirl. So just like everybody else in the world, when I heard that she was coming out with a new series, and this time it's going to be a paranormal romance, oh my god, I was at Barnes & Noble the day this released picking it up, and for some reason it has still sat on my shelf unread. In this one, we are following the love story between Collins Cartwright, who is a photographer that can see ghosts, and Brady Cooper, a small town upholsterer in need of a fresh start in Sweetwater Peak, Wyoming. I'm so excited for this one. This is definitely one that could make it on my top 10 of the year. There is just something that Lila Sage puts in her books so addicting. Once I start one, I have to finish it, and the entire time I know I'm going to be kicking my feet and blushing and giggling at the cute love story. Okay, let's hope we get as lucky as we did with the first prompt. Again, I have like decision paralysis. Okay, I'm feeling the red one in the bottom row. Ugh, so close. And now the dart is sort of blocking it, so it's gonna be a little more difficult to get it. Y'all, that is right on the edge. I don't know how it missed it. All right, third dart is gonna do it. Okay, did you see that? There is a hole in the balloon. If this was a real balloon, it would have popped. That counts. Our prompt number 2 is going to be a book you should have read already. Oh my god, I have so many of those. This is perfect. All right, this next one could not be more perfect because my December hopefuls list is absolutely full of books that I was supposed to read earlier in the year and I never got to. So if you've been around for previous TBR Pops, you might even know what book I'm about to pick because this is the one that I have talked about no less than 3 times this year, saying that I was finally going to read it. And that, of course, is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I love this author's writing, so I cannot tell you what has been holding me back from picking it up. December is for wrapping everything up, going into the new year with a clean slate, and I am not bringing this book into 2026 unread. This is another one that has the potential to be on my top 10 list. Like I said, I've really liked everything else I've ever read from Nat Cassidy. Mary was a 5-star. I think Nestlings was a 5-star. Rest Stop I read earlier this year. Loved it. And from the reviews I've heard about this one, it should be no different. In this one, we are following Jess. She is a struggling actress, and one night she is home alone when she finds a 5-year-old runaway hiding in the bushes outside of her apartment. After a violent, bloody encounter with the boy's father, she and the boy find themselves running for their lives. Based on the title and the cover art, I'm expecting a werewolf story, but I've also heard that this one is a lot more twisty than people expect going into it. Either way, I am so excited to finally be getting to it. I'm feeling really good, less nervous after our first 2 balloons working out. So now let's go for, I want a dark pink. Do I want the dark pink in the top row or in the 3rd row? Oh, there's 2 in the 3rd row. I think I'm gonna go for the top row. No! Okay, it's fine, it's fine. We don't even know what the prompt is. It could be great. Prompt number 3 is going to be a cover pick. I can work with that, see? That's not a bad one. This next balloon is another one that I could pick a lot of books for, but I thought I would use it for a book that I already owned, and I literally went out and got a new copy for this cover, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. If you didn't know, this is actually my book club pick for the winter season. So I am the host of the Quarterly Classics Book Club. The Discord link is always in my description. We would love to have you. But every quarter or season of the year, we pick a classic novel, we read it together, we discuss it in Discord, and then I film and upload a spoiler-filled reading vlog about the novel. And this winter season, Q4 of 2025, our book is Rebecca. This one is actually a reread for me. This is one of my favorite classics of all time, and I am so excited to get to discuss it with everybody, for them to experience this masterpiece for the first time. This one follows our unnamed narrator as she is swept off her feet by the wealthy Mr. De Winter. They end up marrying, and she moves into his Gothic estate, Manderley. Except this is not the first Mrs. De Winter. Mr. De Winter had a wife before named Rebecca. And the more we learn about Manderley, the more we see that Rebecca might not be as gone as we thought she was. Oh, just thinking about the synopsis, this has me so excited to dive into it. I love this book so much. It was a life-changing experience when I read it for the first time. And if you are a fan of Gothic literature, like, this has to be on the essential list. And it's a lot more fast-paced than a lot of other classics, which in my opinion makes it less intimidating to those who might not read classics very often. This is the perfect book with a super intriguing mystery throughout. Row number 4, I'm still curious about that pink one. I think I'm gonna try again for it. Hopefully I don't come to regret this. Nice. And prompt number 4 is going to be a mood read. Yes, that was a good one. That was worth going back for. So when it comes to mood reads, I am definitely a seasonal reader. To me, each genre kind of has like a season where I'm more drawn to pick it up. It just feels correct. And in the wintertime, there is nothing that draws me in more than a big fat romantasy book. That's the back of the book. Let's try that again. For the mood read prompt, I will be finally reading When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is a book that I wanted to read last year, didn't get around to it, and then all year I've been saying, this is the year 2025, I'm finally gonna read this thing. And I'm even more motivated now that the sequel has been announced. So just like every other thing on this list so far, it's time. December is when I will read this monster. This is actually only about 700 pages, so this isn't even the longest book I've read this year. This is doable. Why am I scared? This is gonna be great. So I have to be honest, for a book I've been hyping up for like a year and a half, saying that I can't wait to read it, I don't know what this is about. I imagine dragons, because there is a dragon and a castle on the cover, you know, typical romantasy things. But let's read the synopsis together so I have some semblance of an idea of what I'm talking to you about. This is a fast-paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. Okay, so standard romantasy stuff. As an assassin for the rebellion, okay, buzzword assassin, Ravi's, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter, yes, turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Ravi finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Khan Vagor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Ravi. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. Despite my very dramatized reading of this, I am intrigued by it. I think this is going to be really fun. What is better on a cold, snowy night than getting wrapped up in a nice fuzzy blanket and losing yourself in a fantasy world? We have come to our final balloon in 2025. I feel like I've been neglecting the right side of the board, so I'm feeling the light purple either in the top or bottom row. I think I'm gonna aim for the top. Oh, all right, another orange one. That's okay, it's gonna be a good one. And prompt 5 is bought in 2025. Okay, I'm absolutely sure that something on my end of the year hopeful list I bought this year. So I truly feel like our final prompt is the best way to finish out the year by reading a book that I bought this year. And I'm taking it one step further to pick a book that I started but have not finished yet. That, of course, is going to be Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This is the highly anticipated sequel to Phantasma that I loved last year. So when this one came out, I immediately started it, got to page 33, and then put it down to never pick it up again. So it is finally time to get back to this one. I am going to restart it because I kind of remember what happened in the first 33 pages, but it's just going to be better if I refresh myself. But because this is a sequel, I really can't give you a synopsis, so I'll tell you a little bit about the first one, Phantasma. This is a dark fantasy romance series following these two sisters as they enter and compete in these deadly games set in hell. So we followed the first sister in Phantasma, and now in the sequel, Enchantra, we are following the other sister, Genevieve, and she is entering a new competition called Enchantra. So I have a feeling this is going to be very, very similar to the first book, how it was set up. I'm not mad about it because I love a deadly competition book, and I absolutely loved the inclusion of hell and demons and all sorts of other paranormal creatures in the first one. I know I will not be disappointed with Enchantra. Alright, honestly, we did pretty good considering I only had to add in one extra book that I wasn't already planning to read in December. Let's not talk about the other 5 books on my 10 before the end list that I will also be attempting to read before the end of 2025. That is going to be it for December's TBR Pop Game. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting that we've had a full year of the TBR game. I hope you guys enjoy watching as much as I enjoy playing it. Please give this video a thumbs up if that is the case, and I can't wait to continue playing the game in 2026. Please let me know if there is a book that you absolutely have to read by the end of the year. Like if you could only read one in December, what would it be? For me, it has to be Rebecca. I haven't missed a book club book yet for the year. I'm not gonna start now. And if you would just like to leave me an emoji to let me know you are here, our emoji of the video is going to be a castle because like I already mentioned, the winter time is for reading fantasy and romantasy books. As always, friends, I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye!